my girlfriend, I got to go back to being, got to tone him down. She'd be afraid.
Felicia, you come on,
Felicia.
Felicia.
Indian, so
Yeah. Exactly. You know how I've been.
Not long at all, only 3 months.
3 months.
All right, DeMar, tell us what you got going on, brother DeMar.
When you want to start?
This breakfast.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Just normal voice, like how you're gonna talk.
Yo. Yeah, man, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Dr. Felicia, get me together. Let me know how I'm doing. I'm okay.
Yeah. Just talking to them.
All right, cool. Talking to the microphone.
Yeah.
Now she looking at you, Gang Green.
All right. Still trying to get the best shot for my camera because I apparently care about the look more than the audio.
Down.
Down.
Oh.
I'm down. Why am I down?
What?
I'm calm. I'm down, but I'm not calm.
Keep talking.
Keep talking.
Said.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to town fair. I want that chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm getting that chicken sandwich. Even though I'm gonna have more chicken when I go to my girl's house.
Chicken?
Yeah, because she's Hindu, so she don't eat beef or pork. So
that was a blessing in disguise.
Oh, absolutely. I know you love that. I know you love that. She basically dang near vegan.
We're going 15?
Or she's basically almost vegetarian, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she only cooked chicken because of me, basically.
Yeah. Looking out for the king.
Yeah, but then I ain't complaining when she work out. She's stronger than me. So
what you got, please? Turn off our air.
Sorry.
You gonna have brother DeMar in here sweating.
Might as well. I'm thinking about taking it off. My little
interview get hot enough. It's happening. Not the
church. You got the church fan? All right, we got 2 seconds. You're listening to KGPC 96.9 FM Oakland and streaming online at www.kgpc969.org. This is the Anything Can Happen show with Kenya Asa, Cat Fitness, and our guest host, Brother Darren from Financial State of Mind.
Yeah.
Man, we got something special for y'all. Like this brother right here that we got in the studio today, Darren.
Yeah,
I know you like talking money, right?
Yeah, of course, that's what I do.
And
look at the color I'm wearing right now.
You got that green on.
Green gang over here.
Come on. This brother right here that we have in the building is probably, like you have certain friends that you call when you want financial advice, right? Darren, I'm asking you a question.
Yeah. Me? Why are you asking me? You're asking me.
I'm asking you.
You're asking me. I have certain friends that I call for financial advice.
Well, I'm just saying
I call myself.
You call yourself.
I'm just mentioning. I actually have a team of people I work: accountant, financial advisor, a business consultant. I have like 5 people I call when I don't know.
Yeah,
so
you have certain people in your.
Yeah,
you have a certain group when you need that level of advice, that they can give you something that's valuable. You know what I'm saying? You just don't call anybody. You don't call that person down the street that, is barely making it at their 9 to 5 to get some financial advice. This is one of the brothers that I reach out to when I need certain advice in my life, when it comes to, spiritual, financial, just well-rounded brother. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because this brother DeMar, how you doing today, DeMar?
I'm doing good, man.
You doing great?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am doing good.
This brother has known me since the beginning of my own health journey.
I was there at the inception.
Yeah.
I was there.
You know what I'm saying? Going back to, when did we meet? 2015?
2015. January 2015.
January 2015 is when I started my transformation, when I was still working in corporate America. And me and DeMar literally set a cubicle apart.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We were in the same building, right? Yeah. And it was so funny because at that time, in corporate America, I was, going through getting promoted and different things like that. So when he was getting brought onto the team, I was actually giving a meeting that day.
I remember.
I remember you coming into the meeting from like your training and stuff like that. And you're with the new guys and everything. And I'm up there doing a meeting. And I'm like, oh, we got a new brother in the building.
That's right.
And I was like, he probably's not going to last that long, though.
Dang, hating out the jump, though, Cat, really?
And
not hating.
And you look at everybody like that.
But yeah, the turnover, everybody
That's
that,
true.
everybody that, when it comes to marketing and sales, you know,
Sales,
it's a high turnover rate,
Absolutely.
right? So he's like, we got a new brother in the building. I don't know how long he's going to last.
Yeah, I remember I was like that. Yeah, I was the same way. I'm just counting. Yeah, I was the same way.
But through that time period, not only did he last, but he excelled in the marketing and sales game. Yeah. And he was there for the transformation. And he, whether he knew it or not, he inspired me at that time. And he also kept me on point, because anytime that there was, like, you know how we used to have those company lunches and they would give us the free sandwiches and pizza and give us donuts and juice in the morning and all that kind of stuff. This brother would see me bring my lunch, my meals every day.
Yo, and I would be like, that's cute. That's cute.
Cat, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He'd look at me, Cat, what are you doing? He's like, they're giving us free food.
Yeah.
Why aren't you eating it? And I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm on a mission right now.
I'm on a mission. I got a vision.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking to it.
And I stuck to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But through all that, this brother, not only did he excel in the company, but he's become a great friend, a great businessman, because I find that you're business savvy. You're a great entrepreneur, right? You've done things so outside of the box. I don't know anybody that has approached the entrepreneurial world like you have, like opening these doors. And it amazes me every time that that you talk about the different relationships that you built and how these doors continue to open for you. Yeah. And I think we're going to talk about that today, because a lot of it has been by faith.
Oh, 100%.
Not by sight.
100%. 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
But can you tell our viewers a little bit about you and what you do currently?
Absolutely. So I am a production musician. And so in short, what that means is I create background music for movies, TV and film.
But you didn't start there.
No, I didn't start there.
Yeah.
I didn't start there.
Where did you start when it came to like the music game? Can you share a little bit about that?
So originally I started in Detroit.
Okay.
I was producing underground music for local Detroit artists.
Can you just name drop a few just to give our viewers a little insight of what kind of connections you had?
Stretch Money was one of them. Tone was one of them. PL was one of them. Big Sean was one of them. Royce the 5'9" is one of them.
Okay.
The Goon Squad. Fat Father. Goodness gracious.
So you was doing it on a certain level out there.
Yeah. So anybody who had a name in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? I worked with them at that time. Which was so glorious, man, because when you coming up, this is your first time out there, you want to kind of make a name for yourself, and you just hope that people appreciate what you do and what you bring to the table and kind of elevate their sound. Yeah. And when I went out there, I didn't know what to expect, right? Because Detroit is Detroit.
Exactly.
And but when I went out there, I received so much love in return, and everybody that I wanted to work with, I got the opportunity to work with very quick, right? And so,
how did you build those relationships, if you don't mind me asking?
So I had to figure it out. I had to get it out the mud. And what I mean by that was one day I decided, I'm going to jump out here. And so what I did was I went to every single open mic in the city of Detroit, in the metro area. Yeah. I went to every open mic.
So you were networking?
Oh, yeah. You got to network. Before I knew how to network, I was networking. Right. And so I went to every single open mic in the metro Detroit area. My favorite one was the Bullfrog. But I would go out there and I would just pass out my business cards. I would pass out my CDs, and I would just build relationships, right? And tell people what I did. And so from that point, it's so crazy how networking works, because somebody knows somebody.
Exactly.
6 degrees of separation. Yeah, and so a lot of my business or music relationships came from, okay, I had that episode when I went out there and was networking, but people always introduce me to other people.
Yeah.
Right. Because they understand that you're a stand-up guy.
So how did you get in? Because you met Big Sean and them before they were at the level that they are now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who was that person that led you to that door? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so we were working very close with a guy named PL, who was incredibly talented. He does a lot of the Detroit Pistons sports music right now.
Yeah.
I think he works with the NFL right now. He's incredibly busy and always active. But PL at the time, he was probably one of the hottest in Detroit.
Yeah.
Like he was on fire. I think he had a song called what was the name of that song? He had a single, Fresher Than You. It was called Fresher Than You. And we started working with him and was recording and engineering his mixtape. And through him, we got the opportunity to meet an incredible other production group by the name of their name was the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And PL and the Olympics, they were just tied into the Detroit scene, like heavy, right? And so they knew who Big Sean was because they all came up with the same clique. They all kind of hung with the same people.
Yeah.
They hang with like same successful photographers. I think Dante Marshall. There was a few other people. And so once I started connecting with PL, he started introducing us to a lot of people, right? And so we engineered and connected with a session with Big Sean. He came over to the studio at the time we was in Ann Arbor, right before we went downtown to Detroit. And we got a chance to work with Big Sean. And he was signed with good music already, but he was on the shelf. He wasn't getting no PT. He wouldn't get no playing time. He wouldn't get no playing time. And so there was kind of rumblings in the city about if he wasn't signed to Kanye, right? And so nobody really knew. But when he came over to the studio, I knew he was signed because he had a Jesus piece that I'll never forget. And he was icy out there. And he had a black card, right? And I was like, yeah, he's definitely signed. He's definitely
got
signed.
that advance money.
Yeah, man. And it was good just to kind of be so close to such a talented guy. He didn't write anything down that session. He went into the booth and he just felt it. He punched everything. But a lot of things that he punched, he maybe had like 8 to 16 bars every time he went in there. And if he didn't like something, he'd go back in there and re-record it. And so it was good to see him, at that beginning stage before he kind of flew off into outer space and got his first singles and started really working heavily with Kanye. That was really dope.
Did any of the music that you guys worked together on get released, or was it?
Absolutely. All of his mixtape stuff. Right? All the mixtape stuff. Him and PL did a song that we helped produce and we also engineered. I don't remember the name of the songs at the time. But
if someone wants to look up your production and what you went by the same name, what was your name at the time so they can go listen?
Man, my name is DeMarvelous. You Google me, everything about my life.
Gotcha. Go ahead, people, look them up, man.
Yeah, man. And so so that was really, really dope. And so we got a chance to work with all those guys. And it's crazy because the internet wasn't really
it
wasn't like that.
Social media wasn't going hard like
Oh heck no.
07, 08, like
no way.
It really wasn't doing numbers and nobody was really
knowing how to take advantage.
Taking advantage.
Instagram, you were only allowed to do pictures. I don't even think
Twitter was hot at the time.
You said 07?
Twitter was hot.
07, no, it wasn't even out yet. None of that was out yet.
Twitter was hot at the time, and so I was like, oh goodness gracious. How we didn't know anything else really. I think Facebook was only for like college kids or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You had to have a college email.
A college email, right? And so at the time when we was grinding out there in Detroit, the only thing that we had, was Twitter. Instagram didn't pop off like that until a few years back. What else? I can't really think of anything else, but that's pretty much it.
You said 07?
Yeah, like 07.
I don't think bro, I was in high school. None of that was out yet. It was just
in high school.
I was in high school. I was a junior in high school. It was just MySpace and Facebook. Instagram wasn't out yet. Twitter, I think, just started, but there was basically no. That was like that was Soulja Boy era.
100%.
That's like Soulja Boy.
That's
era.
like the breaking of the internet.
So
I'm kind of like the bridge. So a lot of the stuff that I did, like on 07, 06, and like all that mixtape stuff that we was working on, it really just was in the streets. Nobody was really promoting their music like that.
But they were using that to their advantage to get their name out there.
Of course,
that mixtape scene was crazy back then.
People were still selling records out their trunk.
That's how they was grinding.
That's exactly how they was grinding.
Yeah. So, this is what I love about your story, right? Because somebody with that much momentum, just hearing that small piece of your story, like, oh my God, he's doing this thing. He's working with Big Sean. He's working with some of the top artists in Detroit. Like, how do you walk away from all of that? How do you, because you're in Detroit, you end up in California.
Yeah.
Like rebuilding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I know the story.
Yeah, of course.
But the viewers don't, right?
Yeah.
And the first time I heard the story, I just felt the power within that story.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit how you made that transition of leaving Detroit, leaving all that momentum and coming to California and kind of starting all over again?
The beautiful thing about life is me, and this is just me speaking.
Yeah.
If you're not spiritually connected and you're not connected at divine, and no matter what you're doing, it don't matter if you're a father, it don't matter if you're a hustler, it don't matter what it is that you're doing, but if you're not connected at your core, at some point you're going to look in the mirror and not recognize who you are.
Yeah.
Right. And if that day comes, you got to know how to move and operate in that space to kind of find your way back home. Right. And so we fill ourselves with busy work.
Yeah.
I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. And, we have so many moving pieces happening all the time. And when those things are happening, a lot of times we lose contact with the person that's making these things happen.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And when you lose contact with the person that's making these things happen, all of a sudden your resources gone. Your resources go, it dries up. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell everybody all the time, I am not a preacher. I am not a deacon. Okay, I am none of the above, but I know where my strength comes from.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I know where my power comes from. And so when you get disconnected, you know who you got to connect with. You know who's your power. You know who's your source. And so regardless of the momentum that I had, going into that space and working with a lot of the underground artists that I wanted to work with in Detroit, I knew it was time for a change. We were doing studio sessions till about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning downtown Detroit. I'm moving in Grand River at Merchants Roll Off. And I enjoyed doing the work. Yeah. I enjoyed hearing artists on my music. But I knew that I was kind of destined to do something different.
Wow.
I knew it. I felt it. I felt the pull, right? And so at the time, I didn't know how big the market for TV and film was. So I was just doing what I knew.
Yeah.
And so the funny thing about that is when I play my music for other people, people say, I don't even hear an artist on this. Like, I could just listen to this by myself, like by itself. And everybody that listens to my music says the same exact thing. Yeah. And what's crazy is artists, even like a lot of the music that's very busy, right? This is dope, but I can't find a pocket in it, right? Yeah. I can't find a pocket in it. And it's because I am the artist. Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm the artist, and I love telling the story through my music. And so throughout that process, I really didn't understand the direction I wanted to go, but I just knew that what I was doing was almost in alignment with what I was trying to do. But I didn't really feel fulfilled. Yeah. Right. And then I took a step away.
So you had like just a taste
of
what you were supposed to be doing.
I had a taste of what I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And with that taste, you knew that something bigger was going to come from it, right?
Yeah.
But what brought you out to California?
So I had a partner, his name is Jay, my boy Jay. He was already in the Bay Area. And I had walked away from the music business, and I was like, you know what, I need to start fresh. I need to turn around, and I need to figure this thing out from ground zero. And so I tried to get back into working, and I was trying to find jobs and so on and so forth.
But after doing all that, how could you humble yourself and say, I'm going to go out there and get a job? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would let that amount of success go to their head and just be like, no, I'm not working for anybody. I'm just going to continue doing what I do, and I'm just going to take it to California.
Because when God speaks, you listen.
Yeah.
When God speaks, you listen.
Not all the time, though. Not everybody.
When He puts His foot down, you ain't got no choice. You ain't really got no choice. You see what I'm saying? Like when God says, "Okay, this is what it is," like he'll do things in such a way that he don't even need anybody else to do anything. He'll do something within your spirit to make you feel like you're being controlled and pulled in different directions and saying different things and moving in different places. You see what I'm saying? And you just kind of having like an outer body or inner body experience where you're just getting pulled and you're like, I didn't even want to say that for real, but I said it. I didn't really want to go for real, but I went. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like God is like taking over. And so at that point, he shut it down. He shut me down. And you know what I'm saying? The people that I was working with out there, I was like, I'm done. And what's crazy was they probably don't even, you know, my boy probably don't know it, but when I said it, I was just playing at first. Like, you know what, I'm chilling. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, people probably looked at you like you was crazy.
I was just playing though. I was just playing when I said it, you know. But after I said it the second or third time, it wasn't an April Fool's anymore. I was like, you know what, I am. I am done. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I need to do some soul searching, and I need to start afresh and get this thing together internally.
You know, that's so funny because, like I said, you were there at the beginning of my journey. And that's where I was at that point. When I was making my transition, I was still in the office. I was still doing my day-to-day routine. But internally, I knew I was done doing marketing and sales and working for somebody else.
You know, you're done.
We all have those. I think we all have those as entrepreneurs. Like, you just have the moment. It looks different for everybody. It looks different. Sometimes you're just done though. It looks different, but you all have that moment that just goes, you know what? I'm done. I want to do what I want to do. And I'm going to put my faith and belief in myself and bet on myself. And I feel when you have that moment, and the key, Kat, you kind of brought it up. God sometimes gives you that moment, but we don't listen, we don't act. But when we get that moment and you act, sometimes you're not even.
It's a game changer.
Like sometimes you don't. I feel like sometimes like you don't know you're doing it until a bit later. Like you're not conscious, and that's why I feel like the spirituality is like you're not conscious. Like I was the same way. I had been saying I'm gonna start a business around 2016, 2017. I'm gonna start a business. And then something happened where I was like, you know what? F this. I'm gonna start a business. And like, and you just walk with faith. Like you literally walk with faith. And look where we're all at right now. Like
100%.
look where we're all at right now.
100%.
But so I'm assuming when you got to California, eventually you linked up with the job Kat worked at.
Yeah, that was the goal. So I convinced my wife. I told her, I said, hey, I don't really know how much we only have so much time, but
it's definitely gonna be a part 2.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
I'm trying to really figure out how much detail I give. You know what I'm saying? So
hey, whatever speaks to you. Whatever speaks to you, and then
So I go through that transition, and I have a lot of success on the underground Detroit scene, right? And so from that point on, I just didn't feel like I was in character. I was acting out of character in many ways. I felt a lot of space in between me and my God. I felt a lot of space in between me and my spirituality. And so no matter what you're doing, no matter how good you are at it, if you're not locked in with the man above when you're doing these things, it doesn't matter. You won't be able to find any true meaning or purpose in anything that you're doing. And the people that you would have met and developed connections with and developed bonds with, all of a sudden, those people are no longer in your pathway because you're not moving within your purpose. And when you're moving within your purpose, the beautiful thing has it that God is going to divinely put people in your pathway so that you can reach the destination that he wants you to reach. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so I knew that I was nothing without the power of God.
Absolutely.
I knew that I was not fulfilling my purpose. And so I said, okay, I need to step away and kind of purify myself. I need to step away and kind of start anew. And I don't care what that looks like. If that means I start from zero, that means I start from scratch, no money, no car, which is what happened. Then I'm okay with doing that. And most people aren't okay with doing that. And so I stopped working on music and I took an 8-year hiatus. But within that 8 years, what's crazy is I started off I was dead broke, no money, no car, no job, no credit, no nothing.
Ooh,
no nothing.
My heart. No credit and no money.
Nothing. Right. And so
so how do you stay happy in the nothingness? You know what I'm saying?
Because you find something that's bigger than a nothingness. Like once you start to like really connect with divine, you start to talk to God on a regular basis, and he start to show you things in your past, in your present, and in your future. All of a sudden, you may not know exactly where you're going, but you start getting ideas and saying, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. And he started to kind of clear you out. And so during that period where in the nothingness, I came across the documentary, The Secret.
Okay.
And I was so low. The stuff didn't make sense to me at first. Let me just be honest.
Yeah.
But I was so
Sound
low.
like some mumbo jumbo at first.
It was all
like,
mumbo
what?
jumbo.
Yeah,
This is
like
all
hocus pocus.
Yeah, what kind of witchcraft?
Law of attraction.
Yeah, none of that really made sense to me, man. And so once I watched The Secret, I was so low that I said, I'm willing to try anything.
Yeah. I don't got nothing to lose.
I don't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
And
isn't that a great place to be at though? When you don't have nothing to lose. So whatever you do, is going to be higher than where you are in that present moment.
100%. 100%. And my wife's cousin, her name is LaBrittany, and y'all probably know who she is. Y'all look her up. LaBrittany, she worked at Sprint at the time, and I was just looking for work. Like, I don't care what I got to do. And so LaBrittany was like, you might be able to get a job holding up the free cell phone sign outside in the snow for Sprint. And I was like, all right, how much they paying? How much they paying? Because I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? As I'm going through this spiritual journey. And I was willing to do that. Like, I was okay with that. And I didn't care if somebody local knew who I was from the D. Like, dog, what you doing out here holding a Sprint sign? I'm like,
you just in the studio last night with some of the top artists.
I didn't care. I was like, yo, I just need to find my way. And whatever that looks like, God, whatever it is that you want me to do, whatever direction you want me to go in, I am okay with that. You point and I will go. I was completely obedient with that. And so I watched The Secret. And after I watched The Secret, I started using the tools that they teach you in The Secret, such as words of affirmation, vision boards, visualization, all the laws of manifestation, seeing things before they actually manifest. You know what I'm saying? Like meditating, all those different type of things. But
how did that resonate with you? Because you know how we grew up in our community, in our society. Like you said, it's a foreign language.
It is a foreign language.
You know what I'm saying? So how did you even was able to be like, okay, I'm going to say these affirmations every day. I am strong. I am wealthy. I am power, whatever it may have been. You know
because traditional church tell you a lot of that stuff doesn't make sense, and you playing for the other team, right? And so I was listening to a guy, a philosopher by the name of Alan Watts, and he has, and I don't 100% agree with a lot of his teachings, but there's a lot of things he does say that are really, really that I'm drawn to, right?
It stands out to you.
And he questions a lot of the religious backgrounds and understandings and traditions that we're all familiar with. And so a lot of that stuff, you have to kind of take in what's good and kind of kick out what's bad. You have to filter it. And he had a philosophy or a teaching or where he was Jesus and his religion, right? It was a really, really good teaching, but it made me realize how constructed organized religion is. And that's when I started to really see there's more to God than what I've been taught.
Exactly.
There's more to God than what I've been taught. And once I realized that there was more than God than what I've been taught or what I've been practicing all of these years through my grandmother, my mother, and all of my aunties and uncles, I started kind of searching a little bit more. No, I don't subscribe 100% to Alan Watts, but you made me realize that there's more to this God that I serve. And so once I realized that, when I started looking at The Secret, I was open enough to kind of receive a lot of the things that they spoke about in The Secret. And so I was so low, I just started practicing those things. And I started practicing some of the things that are in The Secret, and one of the biggest things that I can talk about is they took on The Secret. There's a clip of a guy that's trying to get a car, right? And so he's sitting in a lazy boy, hitting the gear shift and hitting the gas, acting like he's really in it. You see what I'm saying? And so I took that scene and just tried to visualize myself in a house, right? Now, mind you, no credit, no money, broke, no nothing, zero, ground zero. And so I went on Zillow like most people do. I went on Zillow and started picturing myself in houses that cost $500,000. Now, you know, in Detroit, that's a big deal. Only lawyers and doctors get the houses that's $500,000.
Exactly.
Right? This ain't like California. Right. And so I ain't got no business looking at these houses. Zero business, because I ain't got the money, I ain't got the credit, I ain't got nothing, but I'm just trying to practice the laws of attraction that The Secret is teaching me. And so I'm sitting here watching documentary, and so I feel God say, no, I actually need you to book an appointment with the realtor to go see the house and actually go to it and taste the air. Taste the air. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why would I waste that man's time? He said, well, if you're serious about it, either you in or you out. Don't half step it. And so I called the guy, his name was Nathan. I think he worked for Remax or something like that. And me, my kids, my wife, we went over to the house that cost $500,000. And I walked up with my slacks on. Come on. like I just got off of work. And I've been at the crib all day. And I went in there and I visualized birthday parties, my daughter's waking up in the morning, my mama coming over and hanging out with me, you know, date nights, and my dad coming over and family coming over. I just visualized all those things. And so I go to the backyard at the end of the tour and I pray and I say, God, if it's not this house, at least allow me to be able to afford a house that costs this much, because I know it's going to come with the amenities that I'm looking for. And so when I said that, that was my prayer. That was my exact prayer. I kid you not. Now, remember where I started it. This is 2014, and I almost bought the papers up here. 2014, the house cost $499,000. 2019, I bought a house for $500,000 for $499,000.
Wow. Come on. Talk that talk. Talk that talk.
Talk to me, man.
Really?
Come on. Wow. So, and that's just not the only thing that happened. There are several other things that happened. Like, I knew that I wanted to get into TV and music, you know what I mean? TV and film production. Right. So I just started visualizing myself producing music.
Hold on.
And this is during my 8-year hiatus. This is during my 8-year hiatus where I'm not producing anything. I haven't even touched music yet, but I just started visualizing myf making music for TV and film.
This is getting juicy, y'all. So we're gonna have to take a quick music break.
Y'all have to wait for this.
Y'all gotta stay tuned in. Because Brother DeMarvelous, man, he's putting it out there because a lot of us go through it, right? We experience this time of finding ourselves and what is our truth, what is our purpose in life. And sometimes we continue to walk away from it. But when you're guided to it, you just have to walk by faith
and not by sight.
Okay. So we're gonna take this quick music break and we'll be right back. You're listening to KGPC 96.9 FM Oakland and streaming online at www.kgpc969.org. This is the Anything Can Happen show, and we'll be right back.
That's why I got a little heated in this joint, man.
You was letting it flow. Let it flow.
Brought that energy up. Way up.
We got 215. You got 215 if you need to use the bathroom.
I do need some water.
I was listening to your voice. I said, why does that voice sound? Then I heard DeMarvelous, and I'm like, wait, he talked to Dr. Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky,
So welcome. This is the station.
I'm so glad to be here.
Small world.
This is water. Oh, yeah, go grab some.
So Cat, who do you not know?
Who do you not know? I'm blessed. You know what's so funny? As a kid, my dad was the same guy, right? Anywhere my dad went, he knew somebody, right? And I would always wonder as a kid, like, how does my dad know so many people? Like, and all he would do was talk to people. He just talked to me wherever he went. He built relationships, talked to people, would just you know, just an open book. Like if somebody caught his eye or something caught his ear, he just sparked up a conversation. So he would always have a friend.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny because my pops was exactly the same way.
Yeah.
He was exactly the same way. He was more like, he knew everybody who was at like the stores, like the stores, small shops, stuff like that.
Restaurants,
everybody.
Gas stations, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Everybody. Man, living your life that way, anything's possible.
Yeah.
All right, we got 15.
Do your job trick. Get your mind right, little boy.
You're listening to KGPC 96.9 FM Oakland and streaming online at www.kgpc969.org. This is the Anything Can Happen show with Kenya Ace at Cat Fitness and our guest host today, Darren from Financial State of Minds. Y'all, this is part 2 of our conversation today with brother DeMarvelous. Man, he is really breaking down how to build wealth by walking by faith and not by sight, y'all.
Bringing y'all that mindset, that struggle that we all have, and I mean, it's just a story, man. So let's just get right into it, man. We need to hear more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we left off. You were telling us that, you know, how you left Detroit, how you were talking to God, essentially talking to God about this $500,000 house. Right. You went to Detroit. You went to one of the real estate properties out there. You saw it. You felt it. You could taste it.
Mm-hmm.
You seen your daughters playing in the backyard. You seen your wife cooking in the kitchen. You seen yourself hosting parties. Right. And at that time, you were like, okay, well, if this is not the house, God, then if this is not the house, let me find something that's equivalent to this house.
Right.
What happened?
And so what led me to that was one of my best friends in the world, man, John, man, and he lived in the Bay already. And so I was dead broke, and I needed to make something happen. I said, God, you point and I'll go. And I remember sitting on the couch, and my wife had came home, and I wasn't expecting her to get home so early. And it was just one of those moments where I was just kind of pouring out, and I was kind of crying because I felt like I was purposeless, and I felt like I wasn't living in the path that God truly wanted me to live in, and I felt so empty. And I was caught off guard. She said, wow, then if you really in this type of space, then you need to do exactly what God is telling you to do, because you're going to feel empty until you fulfill your God-given duties.
So this is what your wife was telling you that
100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
You knew she was a solid one.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Saying some stuff like that.
Yeah. And so I said, all right. And so I reached out to my boy Jay, and me and my boy Jay was having a conversation, and we was kicking, and he like, yeah, well, shoot, man, why don't you come out to the Bay? You want to start fresh? You want to start anew? Why don't you come out to the Bay? And I'm like, man, I ain't coming out to the Bay. Like, what am I do out there? I don't
know nobody.
I don't know nobody. Yeah. I ain't got nothing. I ain't coming to the Bay. Yeah. And so he was like, man, just try to figure it out, you know? And so long story short, I ended up talking about walk by faith and not by sight. I ended up reaching out to my boy Jay and his supervisor at the time. So I came out here working. Yeah. I came out to the Bay to work, for corporate America. And so when I got here, we had an appointment set up with a landlord, and we looked around the crib, so on and so forth, and we was like, all right, cool, like this is nice, but I'm paying like $700 a month for rent, and the rent was like $2,400. And
welcome to the Bay.
Welcome to the Bay.
Welcome to the Bay.
It's the Cali. Yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm like, God, this is dope. I see what you're saying I will be able to do in the future. Yeah. This is dope, but I can't obviously do this now. And thank God for his favor over me. I'm walking around the place and looking at it, And I come back downstairs, and the guy has a lease right there on the table. He said, I don't know why, but I just feel like I want to rent this place out to you.
Wow.
I'm not going to do a credit check. I'm not going to do a background check. I'm not even going to request a down payment. Like, you can give me a down payment in a couple of months once you get on your feet. But if you want to rent this place.
Did you share the story with him, or it was just the energy, the vibe that day?
The energy and the vibe that day.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't know anything about me. He didn't know anything about me. And I said, wow, this is crazy. He's like, yeah, and if you want to make the down payment in a couple of months, because I went and seen the house on December 5th, 2014. And he said, you don't have to pay me the down payment until February. Yeah. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, once you get on your feet, just give me the down payment, give me that month's rent, and we'll just work everything else out. Yeah. And I was like, wow. And long story short, that's the house that I ended up buying, the house that I was renting. Wow. So it was always divine. Yeah. Wow. It was always divine for that to happen. But
I want to just stop right there and emphasize on, if you're on a mission, doors are open for you. Yeah. And don't think people won't do stuff like that. Right. People will do stuff like that, whether it's spiritual or maybe they just have that sense, you know, I'm a landlord. I've done that. Mm-hmm. I've literally done that recently, where didn't have no down payment, no nothing. I said, you say you can pay me in a couple of weeks. All right, I'm giving you that faith. I'm giving you that chance.
Yeah,
do it. And he did it. And he did it. And he's and that person's in a better place right now. So you know, I want to point that out there for the listeners. Like, if you're on a mission, you believe in something. Yeah, doors will open up for you. Yeah. They will open up for you.
Yeah. Yeah. But I believe a big thing is you have to believe in yourself.
Exactly.
You have to.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they doubt things like that can happen.
Yeah.
And with doubt, guess what? When those things present themselves, or you're supposed to be at that place at that certain time, and you have that doubt and you don't show up, you just walked away from one of your blessings.
I tell people all the time, and this is so real. When you think about the things that you want to accomplish and a lot of things that you want to do, they're daunting.
Yeah.
They're really big. And who's going to believe in me? Do I really have the skill set? Do I really have what I need in order to get to that next level? I need this money here. I need this. I need these parts to align. It's really, really daunting. But the scriptures say all you have to have is the faith of a mustard seed. That's it. Yeah. And we all know how big a mustard seed is. I can do that.
Yeah. Like that little.
I can do that. Right. And what I tell people all the time is just believe in the possibility. Yeah. That's it. Just believe in the possibility. You don't have to 100% believe it's going to come to pass. A lot of people think you got to have 100% doubt.
Yeah.
You know, no
plan and everything scripted out.
You do not. God said all you have to have is just a little bit of faith and watch what I do with that seed. Yeah. Right. And so, if I ask you, like, so Kat, do you think you can start a healthy journey and start, this whole cat fitness journey and get people to believe in you and sign up for classes? And when you were the chubby guy working in corporate America.
No, I was fat. You could say it.
All right, when you were the fat guy working,
you know what I'm saying?
If I would have said that then, you would have been like, I think it's a possibility.
Yeah.
That's all you have to believe is it's a possibility. So the flip side of that is say, do you think it's not possible 100% at all?
Yeah.
And if you say, no, it's not 100% not possible, like that's impossible.
Exactly.
So the fact that there is a possibility, I don't care if it's 2%, believe in that 2%. Yeah. Just say, I'm only going to believe 2%, 10%, whatever it is. And all of us can do that. Yeah. And if you just give God a little bit to work with, watch how you stretch that out.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question for some of us, for some of the listeners who may be doubtful, which is, by the way, okay, listeners, it's okay to be doubtful. What makes you, or what's in you to go, even though I don't know, even though I'm not 100% confident, even though I don't know the path or I have a plan, what makes you go, even though I don't know all of this, I'm going to give it a shot anyways?
Because it's easy to fold.
Yeah.
Folding is a choice.
Yeah.
Like literally, folding is a choice. It's nothing else.
Yeah.
We're going to come to forks in the road. The game is going to test you every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come to that test and you come to that fork in the road, you have a choice. And folding is a choice. You see what I'm saying? And
yeah,
so
the
when
amount
you
of energy that you want to put into it is your choice.
It's your choice to say, am I going to lay down and be weak?
Yeah.
Or am I going to see what God has behind this door?
Yeah.
It's literally a choice. And a lot of people let the daunting figure scare them. Yeah. And so they procrastinate, right? Or they don't go, or they say, you know what,
because there's nothing tangible there.
There's nothing tangible there.
Yeah. And if I don't have nothing tangible, why should I believe? Why should I give it any energy? Because I don't, in the long run, I can be disappointed.
Right. And nobody wants to be disappointed.
Yeah, the thought of being disappointed because of nothing being tangible yet is the thing that doesn't allow you to put the energy into it.
And we all try to avoid disappointment. I don't know if that stems from childhood. Like, the worst feeling that we can get outside of getting beat up as kids is being let down.
Yeah.
And as human beings, we don't want to be let down, whether it's from somebody else and especially not from God.
Yeah.
Right. And so we would rather, opposed to being let down, we'll lay down.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so folding is a choice. And so I've just made up my mind that I would no longer fold. Because I would lay down every time there was a fork in the road. Opposed to being let down, I would say, you know what? How about I just don't try, and I can save myself the time, energy, and embarrassment and the letdown.
Right.
I'm no longer doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that anymore. I am going to experience this journey. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to create my heaven on earth.
I'm going to create my heaven on earth, and I am going to go and get whatever it is that God has for me. I am going to walk the path that God has for me, and I'm going to see what that's all about. I'm not going to fold. Folding is a choice. If I have a choice in the matter, I'm going to choose wisely. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't come down to belief for me. It just comes down to a choice. I know what God said. I know what he wants to do for me in my life. I receive the signs. I receive the synchronicities. I'm using the laws of attraction. I'm praying every day. I'm meditating every day. I know I am at the bottom and at the core of core. I know I'm an amazing person.
Yeah.
Right. And so why wouldn't God
deliver
on his, why wouldn't he deliver on his promise?
Cat, say that again.
Why not me?
Why not me?
I think a lot of people need to start saying that.
Yeah.
Why not me?
Why am I not deserving of all these blessings, all these things? I can see it. It's out there. Other people have it. Why not me?
Why not me?
Yeah.
And being in the field that I'm in, I get a chance to see what's out there on a regular. I get to sit back and watch TV all day.
Yeah.
I get to see the music that's being played during, snowfall. I get to see the music that's being played on SportsCenter and NBA Today and NFL Live. I get the chance to see that. And so I'm like, you know what? Why not me?
Yeah.
And so for the longest period of time, I'm like, oh, am I good enough? Am I good enough?
Yeah.
And then I take the faith of a mustard seed and I realize I'm more than good enough. And matter of fact, I'm not patting myself on the back or anything, but I know I can compete with the best of them that do. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm more than good enough. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that's what faith of a mustard seed does. It'll get you in a position where you start to say, wow, God, I want to see what you're gonna do next.
Yeah.
So I'm
calling you out.
I want to see. Yeah.
I'm calling you out.
You showing out.
Yeah.
With just this much faith, you showing out. So I want to keep showing up. You know what I'm saying? You show out, I show up. So I show up, you show out.
So you went from being broke. This person gives you a shot of a lifetime to just no down payment, no nothing.
Yeah.
You do what you need to do. You end up buying the house that was similar to what you visualized and what you had manifested and what God had shown you previously.
Right.
What's next? What's after that?
So in between that time, I moved to Cali in 2015. I received my first official contract to do production music in 2017. So I stopped making music from 2011 all the way to like 2010 to like 2017, 2018. So what ended up happening was I was procrastinating. I was afraid. I was folding. Right. My choice
wasn't believing in your gift.
I wasn't believing in my gift. And my selling point to my family was, hey, I'm going to get to California, get back on my feet. I'm going to get back into music. Right. And real estate has always been something that I always wanted to get into as well. And so once I got back on my feet and I got my credit together and I said, okay, I'm going to start making moves. And my decision was to go into real estate. And my significant other, my wife, she said, but is that what God told you to do?
Isn't it amazing how they just pull your card like that?
And women.
You know what I'm saying?
It's amazing what they can do.
Pull your card and be like, well, that really your purpose, real estate?
Yeah.
You have to sit there and be honest with yourself. Like,
yeah.
It's not.
She said, you told me that you coming here to get back on your feet and then get back to your purpose, which real estate is in my plans. And it's always happened since I was a kid. But she said, I feel like you've been following God this entire time. You shouldn't stop now. Yeah. Right. And so I said, okay, I'm going to get back into music, but I didn't have any plan. I just was using the things that The Secret taught me, which was manifestation, visualization, vision boards, so on and so forth. And so I just started manifesting all these things mentally. And while I'm doing this, I meet a guy named Leroy Redmond, and Leroy worked at the job he was working at. Yeah. And Leroy told me, he said, yo, I played some music for him one day, and he said, I don't even understand what you're doing with your life. Yeah. You need to figure this out and get back on path. Like, because this is mind blowing to me that you're this good and you're not doing anything with it. Come on. And so I said, wow. So you have my wife telling me that, you have Leroy telling me that. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back into it. And so I started doubling down on the laws of attraction. I started doubling down on manifestation. I started doing all the things that I needed to do. And so I went out and bought my keyboards, my monitors, my software, my drums, my MPCs. Got the full set. I went and got everything, and I started producing, but I didn't really have any direction. I'm walking by faith and not by sight. And one of the guys that I used to sell music to by the name of Chris Harris in Cleveland, he reached out to me on Facebook Messenger because he didn't have my phone number anymore. Yeah. And so he reached out to me randomly after about 2 months after I just got back started in 2017. He said, hey, I don't have your number anymore. Reach out to me. Call me. And it's 2 months after I started making music. Yeah. So I reach out and I call him. He said, what's up, bro? And I said, nothing much. He said, do you still make music, bro? And I was like, that's funny you asked me that because I literally just started back like 2 months ago. He said, do you have anything you can send me? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I got some stuff I can send you. Matter of fact, I'll see you something tonight. Long story short, that's how I got my first contract with Warner Chappell. Oh man. So I got my first contract with Warner Chappell. All I did was walk by faith and not by sight and did what God told me to do.
So how did that feel, sending over that music? And then how long after you sent over the music did he get back to you and be like, hey, I got an opportunity the same night?
The same night.
I got an opportunity for you right now.
He said, because they're looking for something, and it sounds like you have the production for what they're looking for. Yeah. And let's put something together. And I had a lot of music already made, but we tailor-made everything. And I think it probably took us maybe like 3 to 4 weeks to finish the project in total. And that was my first official agreement. Wow. With Warner Chappell. And he popped up out of nowhere in my Facebook Messenger. Come on. You see what I'm saying? And that's just me walking by faith and not by sight and doing what God's telling me to do. Yeah. And that's why I'm telling everybody, like, if God is telling you to do something, if God has put something on your heart for you to do, and you've been procrastinating and doing it, you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to understand, what the plan is. All you got to do is show up. And I promise you, God is going to show out every single time. Just take the next step. You take the next step.
And I love, this is why we get along so much. And we've had a friendship dang near since, 2015. Yeah. Because so much of that resonates with my story and how I was getting signs, you know what I'm saying? And continuously getting these signs to start making that shift over to my fitness business, right? And the exact same thing happened. The opportunity presented itself. You probably remember the time where I took time off of work because my glasses being broken.
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't know. To this day, I still don't know how my glasses got broke because I left them in the car, but they were outside the car broke. Yeah. By the time I left the gym. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that gave me the time that I needed to start my brand, to build out my LLC, to start working full time with my clients. Mm-hmm. And I never looked back.
You never look back.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to have all the answers.
No.
You don't. All you have to do is have faith of a mustard seed.
Yeah. And I know me and Kat talk about it. It's funny how whatever you believe in, whatever power you believe in, right? I feel like he always gives you signs. He or she always gives you signs. And the thing is, he or she will always, the power to be, will give you multiple signs.
Several.
Multiple times. Several. What I kind of feel is, if God is giving me signs, especially multiple, he's gracious enough to give me.
There's a sign in this room that I see right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to talk about it off air. But It's so funny how you just know certain things. Before, man, I know it's going to be an episode 2 because we're just at the tip of the iceberg right now.
Right.
With
It's so much more.
But
so much more.
I see your shirt right now. I want you to promote a little bit about this Infinite Audio that I see, man.
Absolutely,
what's this all
man.
about?
Infinite Audio is the brand. This is who we are, man. And there's my guys, the guys that inspire me the most are working with me, man. There's 2 divisions of Infinite Audio. Mm-hmm. There's the social media aspect of royalty-free music that we have Infinite Audio.
Say that one more time.
There's the social media royalty-free music.
Can you break that down into layman's terms?
Absolutely. Man? So if you're on social media, if you have a YouTube channel, you have a podcast, you have a videography business, and you need music to go behind your videos, then infiniteaudiomusicgroup.com is where you would go, because we have subscriptions where you can get royalty-free music and don't have to worry about YouTube.
And just for our viewers out there, this is the actual intro song for our show for the last 2 years we got from Infinite Audio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. So that's where our intro and outro to our show, we actually got the music from Infinite Audio, and it's a catalog of so many different genres and all different kind of stuff. I'm like, wow, like how do you have the time to create all this?
And then the other aspect of what we do is production music, right? And so I'm really excited because the guys that inspire me the most, which I'm going to name and I will always shout them out, Dave Ethington, Leroy Redman, and Isaiah Gibson, man. These 3 guys inspire me so freaking much, man, because Dave Ethington was the one who showed me how to start producing music. Isaiah Gibson is the one who kept me producing music, and Leroy Redman is the one who got me to start back making music, right? And these guys,
3 wise men.
100%. And right now we're working on 4 projects. One is a pop project. One is an R&B project, one is a hip hop project, and one is a movie score project. Okay. So we're working on 4 projects. Each project is going to have about 15 songs on them, and they're all going to be for placement, and all of them going to be in different shows. I just finished up working with Chris on a TV show that's called RV There Yet. We just finished that up. It's a
play off of the Ice Cube. Are we there?
It's like Pimp My Ride for RVs.
RVs.
And Big Boy from Outkast is behind the show. We're going to be a host. And so we just finished up that project. And so as soon as I finished that up, I started working on these 4 projects, which is going to be a lot of the stuff that you're going to hear on SportsCenter, a lot of the stuff that you're going to be hearing on a lot of the reality TV shows that are coming out. And if I can be frank, I thank God for these guys being
just
around
be D-Marv, don't be frank.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. If I can be D-Marv, the guys that I have around me has put me in a space of creativity that I've never been in before.
So you take it to a whole nother level.
Never in my life have I been this creative. And it's due to God putting the circle around me that I have. Because they inspire me every day. We talk every single day. They push me every single day, man. And so I'm just grateful. And I'm really excited about these 4 projects that we're completing, because it's going to be epic. And so on my social media page, you'll be able to see a lot of the stuff that I've already done. And I really don't post a lot of the stuff because it kind of gets repetitive. But some of the projects
they need it.
They definitely need it. But some of the projects that I'm getting ready to work on in the future, I'll definitely be posting a whole lot more, because I'm really excited about it.
So for our viewers that are out there with their own podcast shows or YouTube channels and stuff like that, and they want to get music that doesn't get tagged or get their stuff kicked off, how do they go about getting Infinite Audio? Like, is it an app, a website? Like, what do they do?
Very simple. InfiniteAudioMusic.com. You have 3 different subscriptions. You can go and subscribe. You can get 5, 15, or infinite tracks every single month. Again, it's InfiniteAudioMusic.com. If you're a videographer and you just need music, great music and not corny music to kind of go behind your videos and run in the mill. Everything has been creatively organized so that, we meet the needs of people that need the music that hits home. Right. And so InfiniteAudioMusic.com is where you can go get that music.
Ooh.
I need to check it out.
Man, it's definitely got to be a part 2, y'all.
Absolutely.
We just scratched, because we didn't even get into how we got to Infinite Audio, all the other contracts that you were able to get since what 2017, 2018.
Yeah. It's been a fast, quick ride, man, and it's only getting better.
Man, you're running your race though.
I'm running my race, and God is opening up doors because I'm doing exactly what He told me to do. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of the things that I thought I would have to do on my own, He's been putting people and things in place so that I don't have to worry about doing those things on my own. Doors that I thought I was going to have to pry open, those doors were already open. I just so happened to walk up at the right time. You know, that's how God works. Divine timing, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We're close to the end of the show, y'all. And Brother DeMarv, if you haven't listened to the whole show yet, you have to go back and listen from the beginning, because Brother DeMarv is definitely dropping some jewels out there for y'all to make sure that, you know, you're inspired, you're motivated, you're educated about what you need to be doing on your own path, y'all. We all have our own personal journey that we're supposed to be on. Sometimes we feel lost, sometimes we feel alone, but at the end of the day, just like DeMarv kept on saying, just have a faith of a mustard seed. Just show up. Just show up. Half the time, half the battle is just showing up.
That's always the hardest.
You know what I'm saying? Just show up
consistently. That's the hardest for people.
You know what I'm saying?
Do the work and show up, man.
Do the work. Okay, before we get out of here, DeMarv, can you let them know all the social media outlets that you have for them that you want them to follow, like subscribe? Also the website one more time.
Yes, the website is infiniteaudiomusic.com. And if, you know, and I share a lot on my Instagram. I'm going to start migrating over to TikTok when I get the opportunity to do so.
You're going to be a TikToker?
I'm going to be a TikToker.
Man. Saying, don't worry.
I love TikTok, man. But as of right now, both personal and business, but probably about 70 to 80% business, a little bit personal is on my Instagram. And I would love for everybody to follow me at Marvelous_Infinite Audio. That's Marvelous, MARVELOUS _Infinite Audio.
Man, that's what's up, y'all. Man, you're listening to KGPC 96.9 FM Oakland and streaming online at www.kgpc969.org. This is the Anything Can Happen show. Thank you for tuning in once again. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Tune in every Thursday at noon live so you can jump in the conversation. And guess what? We'll see you next time, y'all. Peace.
Oh, man.
Magic,
man. Definitely magic, man. Woo. Burning up. Box. Burning up.
One hell of a story, though, man.
Thank you.
Before we get out of here, we have everybody do a drop. Just saying, hey, this is DeMarvelous from Infinite Audio. You're tuned in to the Anything Can Happen show, and today we're talking about walking by faith, not by sight.
This is DeMarvelous Infinite Audio. What?
Huh?
This is DeMarvelous Infinite Audio.
You're tuned in to the Anything Can Happen show, and today we're talking about walking by faith.
Tuned in to the Anything Can Happen show, or today we're talking about walking by faith. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Ready?
Hold on. Hold on.
We in the
Wait
oven.
a minute. Put some food in it.
We back in Detroit in one of them little closet studios.
It's hot, huh?
Oh my God. I'm in this thing melting like chocolate.
Chocolate.
Gee.
Woo! He's like, what is this?
I was like, I'm enjoying myself, but I cannot wait until this thing turns on over here. Oh man.
All right, peace, y'all. Shit. Put all the info at the end. Whew. Oh man, I told you we was gonna have fun today.